What's going on, everyone? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Before I begin, I want to say thank you so much to each and every single one of you, as this channel has seen a surge of new subscribers over the past couple days. So thank you. I'm looking to break the 1,000 subscriber threshold. I can't do that unless I get your help. So if you like what you see and you appreciate the content and you like the content, smash the like button, comment in the comment section below, hit the bell to receive notifications, and of course, subscribe. If you want to help to support the channel financially, of course, I do have an eBay store called the Carolina Collector 001. The link is in the description box below, where I've been selling loose sports cards, graded slabs, and various other items from time to time. Yesterday, many of you may have noticed that I have listed a lot more cards. Yesterday, I dedicated almost the entire day to putting new stuff out there, and a couple of you already responded. I actually have a couple orders by my TV stand next to my front door that are processed and ready to go. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get them out today because, well, of course, if you watch my latest YouTube short, I got a stampede of people, getting ready to come over here. Plus, I've been on the phone networking with my family because there's paperwork up there I'm trying to get my hands on so that I can get my upgraded driver's license down here. Unfortunately, a lot of my vital paperwork has been somehow mixed up in my father's house in Pennsylvania in boxes of mine. I don't know how that happened. My blood donor card and a whole bunch of other paperwork, like my birth certificate, ended up there. So now I had to shell out more money to get a brand new birth certificate and all that stuff. So I've been taking care of that. And it's just, today's just one of those days. I cannot wait to grab a beer out of my cooler outside. You have no idea, folks. Like, today is one of them days. And then all of a sudden now my buddies are messaging me. I'm like, You ever have one of them days where you just don't have a minute to think or breathe? But I wanted to take a time to put out a feel-good story for all of you, because I know a lot of you were very, very supportive of the USPS, or United States Postal Service, videos I recently released. And many of you are on the same page as I am. It's like it's a losing battle with the post office in a lot of ways. And it's not our fault as sellers. Yeah, there are some scumbag sellers out there. But, there are also scumbag buyers, too, which I talked about that one piece of shit who was trying to get over on me and trying to extort me for a free Bryce Harper card. And he wasn't going to get it. And in retaliation, put a negative on my account. But this is a different scenario. And I really want to thank the buyer, one of my customers, for really, really working with me through this one. Many of you who are repeat customers will know that I will fight for you ladies and gentlemen, the biological type, by the way. This particular card, which I happen to have a copy of myself, as a matter of fact. Now, I've already gone over my Paul Skenes collection that I have. So the one card that I sold, I had two of these. This is my Paul Skenes Topps 2024 Update Series Yellow Border. And they're going for like around 30 to 40 bucks. I sold mine for what I paid for because I bought two of these. And I made the decision that, I already have, both of them are pretty much identical in every way, centering, what have you. So I sold it off for what I paid for it. Essentially, it was like $35 for this thing, plus shipping. And the customer that bought it lives in my former home of the criminal, radical, fascist, socialist, leftist, communist, Marxist, hashtag MeToo, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, anti-white, anti-family, anti-father, anti-parent, anti-police, anti-Trump, anti-conservative, bed-bug-infested, crime-ridden regime of the COVID concentration camp, illegal immigrant refugee camp, pro-diddler, pro-pedophile, pro-groomer regime of New York City, specifically in Staten Island. So it took a long time to figure out what the hell was going on with this card. So the customer put up a request on eBay saying that he didn't receive his item in a timely manner, which he has that right to do. And I'm like, I looked at the shipping itinerary. I used 3 or 4 different tracking apps on my phone, including the United States Postal Service. And even now, while I'm making this video, my friend is calling me. Oh my God, you guys have no idea. I'm just watching it scroll. I'm not sure if it's going to interfere with this video or not, but I'm like, oh my God. Like, I can't have a break today. Jesus Christ, man, do I feel like I'm in a box. I'm going to finish this video one way or the other. It's just something out there, like, is putting me into a hydraulic press. Ugh, stay strong, dude. Anyway, so it took all of these days to finally get this issue resolved. I myself have tried to call the specific post office where this thing was stuck. It was in Brooklyn for all of these days. I have no idea why. There's no explanation for it. And despite myself and begrudgingly, I called the 1-800 number, and the guy was very friendly. And immediately gave me a case number. Once he had the tracking number and my phone number and everything was corroborated through my eBay account, they were able to see that, yeah, this thing hasn't moved. Like, what's going on? So we're going to start a case for you. As of today, here is that particular order. And the card has been officially delivered to the customer. It's in their hands now. So I want to thank this particular customer for being so patient with me through this entire process. It sucks that things like this happen with the post office, unfortunately. But again, there's not much I can do. I mean, I can push and call and do whatever it is I can do. But unfortunately, once it's in their hands, there's really nothing I can really do about the fact that it's their lazy asses or whatever's going on up there in New York City. And I mentioned the 3 issues that could potentially have impacts on deliveries to all of you that live in the 5 boroughs or in the vicinity. One, because of the stabbing that happened in the Bronx with the Ep.203 pronoun freak stabbing a man that was going through hard times and picked himself back up and got a job as a postal carrier and got killed over a sandwich. Then, of course, you have the congestion pricing, and now the looming threat of the post office being privatized. I have a feeling all of those things are now starting to coalesce. That on top of postal workers recently being filmed and caught throwing out people's mail. So there are all of these things that are going on, right? And it's going to be difficult as an eBay seller to keep up with all this, especially as big as my store is starting to become. I have to make sure that I don't list too many items. One, because, of the nature of my income. I can only make so many dollars every month before I reach a certain threshold where I have to stop. And 2, I worry that a lot of deliveries are not going to make it. And many of you have responded in kind, either as a buyer or a seller. And I sympathize with both sides because I, too, will buy cards. For example, I didn't pull this Paul Skenes out of 50 relic. I bought this on eBay, and I'm fortunate enough to have gotten this thing. I mean, my Paul Skenes collection is pretty solid, if you ask me. And this does not include the 2 slabs that I already showed off a whole bunch of times here on the channel. But at least this time there was a positive resolution where the customer finally got their card. Hopefully the money that they paid me will be released because eBay does that. It's their policy. And if you have money in your eBay account before they transfer it to your bank account, they'll hold on to that amount of money. It's more like a check and balance. In a lot of ways, I appreciate that because it keeps you honest as a seller. I mean, obviously, I'm not here to make $1 million. I'm here to either put it back into the hobby. And you guys have seen videos of me buying groceries, buying this, buying that, paying my small bills like the cell phone bill. And then, of course, whatever's left, I roll back into the hobby again. So it all helps, guys. But I'm very happy that this customer finally got their order. I will persist when it comes to my eBay sales and my eBay store. I can't speak for anybody else. Again, it's unfortunate that there are a lot of scams and con artists that are out there who are trying to extort people for their money. And now from what I've seen with certain videos out there from my fellow content creators, that Topps is actually starting to crack down on the CT scanning and, people using stud finders and all this crazy crap just to see what's inside these boxes or what have you. And PSA has long since cracked down on things. But something needs to be done about the post office as well, because the post office can't just get away with throwing away people's cards and then, well, I don't know what happened. And they do that a lot. I don't know. Persist, guys. You got to persist. I know it sucks like a day like today where I feel like I'm backed into a corner and put into a glass jar almost. That's what I feel like today. But it's just, when I'm dealing with other people's money, knowing that I myself went through financial hardships, being homeless. I've already mentioned to you, I was at the Trade Center in 2001 for the first 5 days after the thing happened. I went through all sorts of crazy stuff. I was homeless for a year, and all of this crazy stuff that's been going on here, which I've already talked about on the channel plenty of times. So I know what it's like to be ran through the meat grinder. But at the end of the day, you have to take what was once a solid piece of meat that was shredded up into a ball of meat and turn it into something else that's useful. And that's what I've done with myself. Completely reinvented my life and taking hold and taking grasp of my life, regardless and despite all of these obstacles. And I'm not going to go down like that. And at least in this case, we got a good resolution out of this, and I'll read this to you. An update to shipping status shows the item has arrived. If that's not the case, the buyer has 24 hours to ask us to step in and help. If we don't hear back from the buyer, this request will be closed. But it did arrive today, and there it is, folks. I'm very happy that we got a good resolution in all of this. So thank you, everyone, in particular, this particular customer, for being a good sport, especially, where he lives. This is not doxing anybody. This particular customer resides in Staten Island. And New Yorkers like myself, of course, I'm pro-orange, man. We call Staten Island Staten Italy for a reason. Don't fuck with the Italians on Staten Island. New York Italians, by far, are the coolest people, man, because they are so stand-up. They're very conservative, very old school, very traditional. They believe in God and all that kind of stuff, man. And they're not bad people at all. I've ran into a lot of bad Italians out there, but Staten Island Italians are a unique group of individuals, and God bless you, folks. I love you, man. Much love from your boy down here in North Carolina. But, at least I know that, this customer was cool as a cucumber, and I appreciate that. And for the rest of you, it just goes to show that, sometimes you're going to get that one or two jerks that are out there that try to hold you hostage and try to get your money off you or try to commit some sort of scheme or scam to suck your wallet dry. And unfortunately, well, that's just how the way of the world works. So, but you don't have to sit there and tolerate it. You can fight back. And in this case, we beat the post office. The card got to the owner. I'm very happy that this particular customer got the exact same card that I have. There's virtually no difference between the two. But of course, I've got these, which are going to be part of my submission. That's the gold foil and yellow foil from Update. Oh, you better believe these are going to SGC, along with all the other variants that I have from Update. So that'll be for a future video. But now, unfortunately, after I make this video and I keep looking at my window, because I know my buddy was just calling me and I saw his number up there, but I'm not stopping this video until it comes to the end, which it's about to right now. So I'm going to wrap this up into a nice, neat little package. Again, everyone, thank you for your patience. I'm glad this had a positive result. To my customer who received this Paul Skenes, very happy for you. God bless Staten Island. Man, they vote red right across the board. God bless you, folks. And that's pretty much it, everybody. Until the next video, I still have this long, never-ending day to look forward to. So I can't wait to start tackling some of that beer that's in my cooler out there. Anyway, God bless. Stay safe. Take care, everybody. I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and also check out my eBay store. The link is in the description box below. And just keep up the good fight, folks. You don't need to lose money over somebody else's nonsense. And you certainly don't have to pay for anybody's bullshit. So, guess who just showed up? Hola. So, anyway, guys, I got to get going now. I wasn't kidding. So, take care. God bless. Stay safe. And I will see you all very soon.